All right, so this is the box that I received in the mail. We're going to go ahead and open it up. I suspect that it's going to have our Oneplus 5 inside and include the dash charger for the car that I ordered. Oh, it's backwards. Go ahead and open it up this way. And that's what we got inside. We got see, this is a packing list. You don't need to see that. It's got my address and all kinds of personal stuff on it. There is the dash charger for the car. That's what the box looks like. We're gonna set this aside because this isn't actually the star of the show. The star of the show is actually this bad boy right here. This is the Oneplus 5. I don't know if you can see the 5 insignia here on the front, but this is indeed the Oneplus 5, and it says right there on the side, dual camera clear photos. Hopefully that is in focus. Ha! Oh, the puns. So I ordered the Midnight Black 128GB edition. This is the highest end phone that you can get. I'm gonna go ahead and set this box aside. Get my opener. Let's see, how do we not scrape this box? We're gonna go ahead and open it right here. All right, we don't want to damage anything on the box. So we open the box, the phone should be on top. And there it is. There is the Oneplus 5. Okay. Oh, hey, look at this. There's a nice little pull tab on the front here. You just kind of pull this and this whole thing lifts off. I think there's actually something in here. Let's see, okay. So there is the device right there. Wow, this is light. This is the box of stuff. I really like this pull tab design. This is really good. Okay, so we've got a quick start guide and we've got a SIM card removal tool here. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Let's go through the rest of the box and see what else is inside. Oh, that's sweet. Nice little postcard in here. Where is this taken? Shot in Iceland. Huh. That's the interesting thing about Iceland. Iceland is full of green and Greenland is full of ice. Or so I'm told. So here it is. There's a beautiful photo there. Wishing that was in frame. Oh, there's a letter on the back here. I'm sure if you've seen any other reviews, you probably know what the letter says. It's actually a letter from the CEO, Carl Pei, saying, "Friends, thank you for ordering this phone. We know that your money means a lot to you, so thank you for giving it to us." No, what does it really say? It's asking you to tag your Instagram photos with shot on OnePlus and talking about the camera. So really, OnePlus is drumming up the camera on the back of their phones. That has really been the star, as you can tell from the packaging to the letter from Carl. All right, and at the bottom, we've got our dash charging system. It's the wall plug, which looks substantially bigger. Looks like an iPhone charger on steroids. So this is the US edition, and so you get the US style plugs. So the dash charging looks to be pretty impressive. You can get almost a full day's, I think it was something like 60% charge in half an hour. I'll put that somewhere on the screen. I'll give you the right specs for that, but I think it's like 60% charge in half an hour. This is the charging cable for it. It's a USB Type-C. Comes with this little plug. You can just pull that off there. It's a Type-C, so it's reversible. What I really miss are the flat cables. So in comparison, this is a charging cable from a OnePlus 1. You'll notice that it's a flat ribbon style cable. I wish they were still doing it this way. All right, so we've got the Oneplus 5 device here. I'm gonna read you some specs. So this phone is no slouch. It's got a Snapdragon 835 processor, which is the same as the Galaxy S8. And in comparison, it's faster than the Google Pixel or the LG G6, which both use Snapdragon 821 processors. The 835 is praised for its snappy response and its low power draw. It's got 8 whopping gigabytes of RAM, which could be more than any other smartphone on the market. In comparison, the Galaxy S8, the Pixel, and the G6 all use 4. I'm going to leave that sticker on there for now. It's got 128 gigabytes of internal storage, which is about the equivalent of the iPhone's numbers. So you could have all of your apps and a substantial video library on here. You've got a 16 megapixel camera here on the front, but the real star of the show is the dual cameras on the back. You've got a 16 megapixel rear facing camera and the 20 megapixel camera sensor to go along with it. These should allow for some amazing results. Not too different from what you might see from an iPhone 7, seeing as the design is very... Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is exactly the same thing as the iPhone 7. Yeah, let's not kid ourselves and pretend like this is revolutionary. Android has been making fun of iPhone for being behind the curve, but when iPhone finally got ahead of the curve, here comes OnePlus to copy them. So the phone itself is pretty slim. It's about 7.25 millimeters thick. It's got some tapered edges, which actually... Let's do the hand test here. In the hand, it feels pretty good. You know, I would actually prefer it to be a little bit thicker, just so that it feels a little bit better in the hand. Right now, it feels really loose, like it could slide out. I do miss that sandstone backing. In comparison, here is the OnePlus One, which has that sandstone back. It's got this nice textured feel that I really love. But we'll make do, and chances are likely that we're going to be putting a case on this anyway, so maybe we can get like a sandstone case. See if we could power this bad boy up. There it goes. Awesome. You'll notice that there's already a screen protector factory installed here. In fact, you can see the edges down by the fingerprint sensor. You want to watch the startup animation. So the screen is a 5.5-inch 1080p AMOLED display, no Quad HD. I would have liked to have seen Quad HD, but I understand that OnePlus did away with it just to keep the price down. You know, but if it's good enough for the Google Pixel, which also has a 1080p 5-inch AMOLED screen, I'd say it's good enough for OnePlus. And that's something that they've done consistently. So by comparison, here's the OnePlus One, not nearly as bright. And you'll know it's because the OnePlus One on the left does not have an AMOLED display. But they are both 5.5-inch displays. So they are exactly the same size, even though you'll notice that this phone is slightly bigger because of the bezel. And there you go. So that's what 3 years will get you. The OnePlus One came out in 2014 and the OnePlus 5 in 2017. They both have that OnePlus logo you can see there. For the price, I'd rather see less RAM as a trade-off for higher resolution, but, you know, it is what it is. So it's telling us that there is an update, so we're going to go ahead and download now. Chris, my man, hold up. We don't want to download the newest update just yet. We want to see what the performance is right out of the box. Man, get your thumb away from that button. That's more like it. Did you guys hear that? Let's take a look at the software itself. So we're going to go About Phone. So we are running Oxygen OS version 4.5.0. As you saw, there was an update to 4.5.1, but we're not going to update just yet. This is running Android 7.1.1. Come on. There we go. We got the nougat there. I wonder if they still have the Flappy Bird in here. Nope, just the kitty. So one of the things that OnePlus has really been good at is their OS. I mean, you won't find a lot of bloatware on here. Let's see here. Ah, okay. So that's interesting. There's actually a swipe up feature to get to your apps. So you'll notice that there's not a whole lot of bloatware. I mean, maybe the play movies and music. But, you know, you'd find that on a regular Google phone like the Pixel. Yeah, so compared to the very clunky OSs like SenseUI and TouchWiz, you know, this is very vanilla Android. It's very stripped down, so you're getting just the basics with a few modifications. Oh, I love that word, modifications. And those modifications come in these settings. One of the coolest things that I've noticed since the OnePlus One, and I think it's a byproduct of their collaboration with CyanogenMod, is gestures.
So you have the ability to have different finger gestures on the screen. Draw an O, draw a V. These are some new ones that I haven't even seen with the OnePlus One. Draw an S, draw an M, draw a W. Before it used to be for music control, you can draw an arrow like this to go forward, draw an arrow like this to go back, and then 2 fingers to pause. And it looks like they still have that here under music controls. So that's one of the cool features about Oxygen. And if you're a user of CyanogenMod, you might be familiar with the gestures. And if you're familiar with the OnePlus 2 and the OnePlus 3, you'll remember the notification slider over here. See if I can get that in screen. Here it is. We can switch from full notifications to some notifications to sleep mode. Good night. Let's take a look at the camera, since the camera is the highlighted feature of this phone. So it says swipe for video, swipe for portrait. Oh, okay. So we have, I'm just playing around with the phone right now, and I've noticed that there's 3 features depending on how you swipe. So you start out in camera mode, right? And then if you swipe to the right, now you're in video mode, which you can see by the red recording button. And then we're going to switch back here. And now we've got depth effect turned on, which is using that second sensor. Let's see if there's something I can take a picture of. See how it looks. Oh, actually, it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks really good, actually. All right, so I'm going to need a little bit more time to play around with this phone, but my first impressions are I really like this device. I think it's fully featured. Being the modder that I am, I like to customize and set things up just the way that I like them. But really, I'm going to need about a week to play with this phone. Stay tuned for more coverage of the OnePlus 5. In about a week, I'll have a full review up. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.